Welcome back to Lakerland. I'm your host Cole. Today we're going to talk about the information we know up to this point about the Lakers filling the head coaching position. For those of you that don't know, Darvin Ham was fired after his 2-year tenure with the Lakers. I made a video about the whole meltdown a couple weeks before it happened. Right now, the leading candidates are Redick, Sam Cassell, and James Borrego, as reported by Shams Charania. Redick was a surprise for me personally. I am aware of the relationship that him and LeBron have, and I'm aware of the part that may have played in this process. But it's still surprising. I do personally believe that Redick has a high basketball IQ. I watch his analysis on the game, but his lack of complete coaching experience at a high level, it does leave everything to be desired, to be completely honest. Just because different actions and different plays and things like that doesn't mean you can conduct practices or you can lead teams, especially when we're talking about an 82 game season plus the playoffs, because this team is going to always have championship aspirations. I do believe he would be a great assistant coach though, considering what I spoke about earlier with his understanding of actions and modern offense. I do believe he'll be a great assistant coach in someone's cabinet. Another surprise to me was the James Borrego mentioning. Now, James does have the experience to back up the interest. He has experience as an assistant coach for the New Orleans Hornets, the Magic. He was also an interim head coach for the Magic for a little bit there. He was the assistant coach for the Spurs under Pop, and he was also a long-term head coach for the Hornets for about, I believe, 4 years. It just surprises me that the Lakers casted such a wide net. Usually, in recent years, we've seen either coaches be someone that had a deep connection with the organization itself or a deep connection with star players. So when you bring up a name like James Borrego, I'm starting to think that they actually had a great in-depth interview with him, and they liked his philosophy on things. Definitely the most eccentric choice out of them all, because with JJ, you can at least say that he has a good relationship with Bron, and that Bron respects his basketball IQ, and that would be a ground as to hire him. The last candidate is Sam Cassell. We all know Sam Cassell as the player, 3-time NBA champ, 1-time All-Star, 1-time NBA performer. But he's paid his dues as a coach for, I want to say, about a decade now. He was an assistant coach for the Wizards. Then he was an assistant coach from the Clippers, from Lob City to the Bubble. He went from Philly to the Celtics this current year, actually, with the Celtics having the best record in the NBA this year, and they actually just advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals right after I'm recording this, so that's pretty good. He obviously interests me the most because he's been, even though he hasn't been a head coach, he has been in different playoff situations with most of the teams he's been on for most of his coaching career. So that's something that definitely intrigues me. And he's also a player, so he knows what they need to hear and how to motivate players as well in different situations. Actually, Coach Joe Mazzulla from the Celtics just praised him on his skills for knowing how to talk to players and things like that after their conference final clinching win earlier this night. Another thing that makes me skeptical though about both him and JJ is hiring a rookie head coach. Even though Sam Cassell does have the experience, another rookie head coach could bring back different, I don't want to say trauma because it's sports, but it could bring back skepticism from a lot of the fan base. The road that these candidates have to fill is tough though, I'm gonna be completely honest. We'll be asking for someone that can win now, have a long-term commitment, and someone that knows how to develop players. The win now aspect obviously comes from LeBron being 4,000 years old and trying to maximize him whilst you're still paying him a good hefty contract. The commitment aspect comes from the fact that the Lakers have been flying through head coaches. We've had 3 different head coaches in 6 years: Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham. Now, 2 of these head coaches just absolutely needed to be fired due to incompetency. Talking about Darvin Ham and Luke Walton. But we need some stability at that position. We absolutely need development coaches. The development aspect really showed itself last season. We saw players like Reeves, Christie, Hayes, and Rui development be hindered by bad coaching and rotations, where they were essentially getting benched for no reason. There were also moments halfway through the season where the only people that could consistently attack zone defense were D'Angelo Russell and Max Christie. Like, that's crazy. There are also, for most of the season, where the only people that knew how to throw entry passes to AD was D'Angelo Russell and LeBron James. That's something we need to work on as a team. Let me know who you think the Lakers should hire in the comments. Y'all have a nice one. Lakerland out.
For the latest and greatest on your Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate the support. Follow us on social media at Lakerland Show, and join our Playback TV room for our free VIP access to our Lakers watch parties and, of course, the Lakerland podcast. That's playback.tv/Lakerland.